Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Destiny 2 Retrospect. Today I've got a goodie for you. So, as you all know, today the Festival of the Lost concludes, and with it, well, we're doing a retrospect, because, quite frankly, there's not much else going on in Destiny 2, as there's a content drought in between these shorter seasons and the larger expansion Nightfall that is to come in February. So, here we are talking about Festival of the Lost. So, in this retrospect, we're going to use 3 categories to rate Festival of the Lost. Take all of these with a grain of salt, because, well, my opinion is my opinion. You may have a different one. And, yeah, I'm going to be pretty harsh on this, Bungie. I love you, but I think you can do a lot better with Festival of the Lost. Like, a lot better. So the first category we're rating is gameplay. Now, I think the Haunted Lost sectors are okay as far as gameplay goes. You know, it's just like a fun little thing to do. But my main problem with Festival of the Lost is that it requires you to go do other activities in order to do the activity that the whole event is centered around, the Haunted Lost sectors. This is an issue Bungie has talked about before, the community has talked about before, and it's really annoying because Bungie has neglected to update a lot of these playlists, right? The Strikes playlist, they have been saturated slightly with new stuff, right? There's a couple new strikes here and there. The Battlegrounds playlist got put in. So to me, that's the most bearable playlist in Destiny right now, because at least it's slightly saturated. You have, you know, some cool strikes in there, but still it's not the most enjoyable thing to do because most people have done those strikes 100 times over at this point, and it's a little stale. Who am I kidding? It's really stale. Crucible in its own right can be fun. I think it's best played with a group of friends, like most of Destiny is. But if you're someone who has to grind this event alone, playing Crucible can be a pain in the ass. And then, if you don't want to play Crucible, guess what? Go play Gambit. Oh boy, when's the last time Gambit got updated? When's the last time they put a new map in? When's the last time they put a gun that was like actually worth a damn in there? It's been way too long. So I get where they're coming from. They just want people to play the game with these events to keep the server population up. But it's just plain lazy. And I know that the counter argument here is that the live team's probably working on the next season, and, you know, a rather weak event like this isn't really going to be widely criticized anyways, because if next season is really good, who gives a damn? This event's just a little thing to do with your time. It's nothing that major. But my argument here is it's not even an event. Like, the Lost Sectors are something that are already in the game. The playlist that the event asks you to go do are already in the game. There's nothing new except the loot and, you know, some of the tower music, which is actually pretty good. We'll get to that in a second. But the gameplay loop is just the same thing you do when a new season comes out. You go and you do strikes. You go do Gambit and Crucible to get your pinnacles. It's the same thing, and it's really, really lazy from a gameplay design. I think really all they had to do was add one other type of Lost Sector thing. Maybe like a 6-person player activity that you go do, and then you go to the Lost Sectors. You get your spectral pages from that 6-man activity, and then you go do the manifested ones in the Haunted Sectors. It's really a small change that takes away from the main gameplay loop, and that's all most people are looking for, is a reason not to go into these playlists every single time they're on. And for me, that would be enough to at least somewhat fix the gameplay loop that this event calls for. So, the next couple of categories are actually a bit more lighter. That one, I just had to get that off my chest, because I do think Bungie can do a lot better in this regard. Obviously, we'll see how the Dawning goes. You know, I don't really care for these events, and I haven't for a while, but that to me is part of the issue, because the gameplay loop, not the loot, The loot is good, but the loop is bad. So that's where I get a little frustrated. And not because I don't like this game, but because I do. And not being able to play it because this event is subpar, in my opinion, it sucks. So the loot is actually really good. I think Jurassic Green with Incandescent is a phenomenal gun. You should definitely try and get it if you still have time before this event goes away. This video is probably coming out Monday or Tuesday, but yeah, hopefully you have time. If not, there's always next year. And I'm not sure the proper way to say this sniper's name, but the Macabre, or I don't know, it's the sniper rifle. The sound design is really good. It has some good rolls, and it's worth getting. Aside from that, the loot is pretty subpar, so the loot is like a 6.5 out of 10. And by the way, in case you didn't know, gameplay is getting a fat 0 out of 10. So far 0 out of 10 for gameplay, and a 6.5 for the loot. Now for our last category in this retrospect, it's actually the highest category, which is the music. The music is actually really good. In the tower, that gets a fat 7.5 out of 10. It's really hard to beat the music in this game, and I think the Halloween music is some of the best. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of this event in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, in the description is the link for my Twitch channel. I stream most nights over there. Hope to see you there, and peace out.